Good morning everyone. So here we are starting continuity and differentiability. So first of all we will do continuity. So before doing continuity, let us write suppose fx is equal to x square. Now if you want to draw the graph of x square, how you will draw? So for that first of all we have to draw x axis then y axis. Now we know fx is y. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So this is the fx. So this horizontal line will take the values of x and this vertical line will take the values of y, that is fx. Now if you want to draw the graph of x square, the graph will be something like this. The graph may not be perfect because I am drawing on the screen. Now see here the values of x are positive and in this side the values of x will be negative. Now whenever we will draw the graph of x square, just look at the diagram. We can draw the graph without taking out the pen from the paper. We can draw the graph continuously, something like this. It is not like that here I am drawing the graph and we have to take out the pen from the paper and we have to draw it again here. This is a continuous line, curved line. So this is means continuity. That means whenever we will draw a graph without dropping the pen, then the graph is continuous graph and the function is continuous. Now here in this chapter we will find different functions, that these functions are continuous at which point, and if it is not continuous then it is not continuous at which point. Now whenever we will take a function, that is suppose fx equal to x square, whenever we draw the graph of this x square on the paper, we draw only small part of the graph. Suppose if we keep on increasing the value of x, then this graph will go in this way upward. If we are decreasing the value of x, then the graph will again go in this direction. So it will go on. We don't know up to how much this graph is continuous. So that is why here we will find that this graph is continuous for all values of x. That means here value of x is the domain of the function, and if it is continuous for all points, then this function is continuous for all values of x. Now in this chapter we have various kind of questions. So in the exercise 5.1, the first question is given, prove that the function fx is equal to 5x minus 3 is continuous at x equal to 0, at x equal to minus 3 and x equal to 5. So three questions are given with the same function. I have solved here for x equal to minus 3. In the same way you can solve it for x equal to 0 and x equal to 5. The process will be same. Now the various kind of question means here the function is given and no condition is given, only the function is given. So this is one kind of question. So for that we will write limit x tends to minus 3, because our question is we have to find the continuity of the function at x equal to minus 3. So that is why we have written here x tends to minus 3 fx. Now the value of fx is 5x minus 3. We will put here 5x minus 3. Now we will write minus 3 in place of x and it will become minus 15 minus 3. So our answer is minus 18. Then we will find f of minus 3. For f of minus 3 we will directly put minus 3 in place of x, again the answer is minus 80. Since limit x tends to minus 3 fx is equal to f of minus 3, so the function is continuous at x equal to minus 3. Whenever no condition is given with the given function and we have to find the continuity at a particular point, that is the particular point here is x equal to minus 3, we will do two steps on this. Step 1, we will write limit x tends to minus 3 fx and we will find the value. Second step, we will write f of minus 3 and we will find the value. If these two values are equal, then this is continuous. If they are not equal, then not continuous. This is a process to do this kind of question. Now question number 2 you can do. This is same as question number 1. Question number 3 is given, examine the following functions for continuity, and some functions are given, 4 questions are given. Here I have solved question number A. In the same way you can do question number B, C, D of question number 3. So the difference between question number 1 and question number 3 is, in question number 1 they have mentioned at which point we have to find the continuity. Suppose in question number 1 they have given find the continuity of the function at x equal to 0, x equal to minus 3 and x equal to 5. But in question number 3 they have not mentioned the point at which point we have to find the continuity. They just said that we have to examine the continuity, that this function is continuous or not continuous. Not a single point is given. So for this kind of question we have to do this process. So here in question number A the function given is x minus 5. Here also no condition is given. By telling this condition, whenever you will get the question with condition, then you can understand that this condition is what that I am telling. So here no condition is given and no particular point is given. So for that, first of all we have to write clearly f is defined at every real number c. That means this function is defined for any real number of this x. So we will find the continuity at c. That means by taking this c we are referring to every real number. That means here we are examining the continuity for every real number of x. So process is very simple. You have to write limit x tends to c, same as here we were writing x tends to minus 3. Here we will write in question number 3 x tends to c fx. Now we will write the value of fx, then we will replace x by c. So this is c minus f. Then we will find f of c. The value is again c minus f. Since both the values are equal, so fx is a continuous function. So in this way we can do question number 3. The rest of the questions are same as this, the solution of question number A. In the same way you have to do the rest of the questions. So the difference between question number 1 and question number A is, in question number 1 they have mentioned at which point we have to find the continuity. In question number 3 they have not mentioned at which point you have to find the continuity. Whenever the point is given you have to do in this way. Whenever the point is not given you have to check for every real number, in this way taking c. So this is two kind of questions. Example 3. In example 3 the question is given, discuss the continuity of the function f given by fx is equal to modulus x at x equal to 0. Discuss the continuity of the function f given by fx equal to mod x at x equal to 0. So we know the function mod x, and this function is written in this way. You can write the function in this way: fx equal to minus x if x less than 0, and fx equal to x if x is greater than equal to 0. So we have written the function fx in this way. Now we have to find the continuity at x equal to 0. So here also the particular point is given, and the difference of this question with the previous questions is here the conditions are given, and the conditions are this: x is less than 0 and x is greater than equal to 0. These two are conditions. That means we have to solve this question in a different way. So for that we have to find the left hand limit LHL, then we have to find the right hand limit, then we have to find f of 0. After that we have to compare these three values are equal or not. If these three values are equal, then this function is continuous at x equal to 0. If these values are not equal, then this function is not continuous at x equal to 0. So for that, left hand limit means what? So for left hand limit, you have to write limit x tends to 0 negative. 0 negative means what? Whenever you will draw the graph of mod x, the graph will be like this. You all know the graph of mod x. So 0 is in the middle. Left hand limit means the left side of the 0, and right hand limit means 0 positive means the right side of the 0. Right side, and this is left side. Whenever we will write left hand limit, that means we have to think we are on the left side of the 0, and whenever we will write the right hand limit, we have to think we are on the right side of the 0. Whenever we are on the left side of the 0, the value of x will be less than 0. Left side of the 0 means the value of x is less than 0, because on the left side of the 0 you will get minus 1, minus 2 like this. That is why we have written here 0 negative. That means x tends to a value which is less than 0. 0 negative means x tends to a value which is less than 0. Right hand limit is right side of 0. Right side of 0, whenever we will take a value on the right side of the 0, the value is more than 0. That means on the right side of the 0, here we will get 1, 2, 3 in this way. So the value is more than 0. That is why we have to write here x tends to 0 positive. That means x tends to a 0 which is more than 0. That means suppose 0.1, 0.2, we don't know the value, we have to write only 0 positive. That is a small value which is more than 0. Now I have solved the question taking h. In your book, the solution of example 3, in this solution they have not done the solution taking h, but I want to tell you that this question you try to do taking h, because most of the questions whenever you want to do, then you have to take h, otherwise it will be very difficult to solve the question without taking h. Some of the question you may solve without taking h, but I will prefer that process by which you can solve most of the questions. So that is why from the beginning of the chapter I want to tell you to do these questions taking h. Now see, here we have replaced x by h. Here we have written h tends to 0. Now the question is, what is h? H is a small value, very small value. Whenever we are telling x tends to 0 negative, that means x tends to a value less than 0. But how much less? How much less than 0? That small value is h. That means x is, the value of x is 0 minus h. That means a small value h less than 0. whenever we will write here 0 minus h and x tends to 0 means whenever we will write x equal to 0 minus h and x tends to 0, whenever x tends to 0 then 0 minus h will also tends to 0. Whenever 0 minus h is tends to 0, from here we can write h tends to 0. Now you may think that here we were telling about x tends to 0 negative, but whenever I have done the calculation by writing this, here I have not mentioned the negative sign. Why? This is because this negative sign is given only to make you understand that 0 negative means left side of 0, but x is very close to 0 but less than 0. So this is something which is very nearer to 0. So we can take the value x equal to 0. So whenever we will put 0 minus h in place of x and x tends to 0, we can replace x by 0 minus h tends to 0. Whenever 0 minus h tends to 0, that means minus h tends to 0. Whenever minus h tends to 0, so h tends to 0. In this way we have replaced this one. I am telling you again why I have written here 0 minus h. This is because x tends to 0 negative. 0 negative means left side of the 0. Now the point is here or here or here, we don't know. So we are considering a small number. Whenever the small number is h, then we can say x will take the value 0 minus h. That means less than 0, and how much less? H less. Okay. Then now we have to consider the function that the value of fx, which one we have to take, minus x or x. Whenever the function is left hand limit, that means 0 negative, left side of the 0, left side of the 0 means less than 0, less than 0 means for less than 0 the value of fx is minus x. In this way you have to consider the function, which function you have to take for the solution of this question. 0 negative means left side of the 0, that means less than 0. Whenever x is less than 0, the function is minus x. That is why we have written here minus 0 minus h. Now why we have written 0 minus h? Because the value of x is 0 minus h. We have just replaced x by 0 minus h. Now from here we can write limit h tends to 0 h and the value is 0. In the same way we have to do the right hand limit. Right hand limit means right side of the 0. Right side of the 0 means more than 0. More than 0 means we have to take this function fx is equal to x. Fx is equal to x for x is greater than equal to 0. So whenever the value of x is more than 0, the value of fx will be x. That is why here we have written 0 plus h. Since fx will take the value x, we can replace it by 0 plus h. Now see, in the left hand limit, here we have written 0 minus h, and in the right hand limit here we have written 0 plus h. This is because 0 positive means right side of the 0, that means more than 0. But how much more? The small number is h. So more than 0 means 0 plus h. Some number is there which is more than 0, and that number is 0 plus h. And the small difference is h. Now the step of considering the function. So this is, I have told earlier also, the function will be 0 plus h because of this one, because x is greater than equal to 0. Now we can put the value of h and the answer is 0. So left hand limit and right hand limit are completed. Now we have to find f of 0. Whenever we will take f of 0, the value of x will be 0 because fx is equal to x whenever x is greater than equal to 0. So whenever x is equal to 0, the value of fx is 0. So from here we can say left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to f of 0. So from here we can say fx is continuous at x equal to 0. Whenever the condition is given and in a particular point you have to find the continuity, you have to do left hand limit step 1, right hand limit step 2, and at the point is step 3. Then you have to compare these 3 are equal or not. Example 4. In example 4, the question is show that the function f given by like this, fx is equal to x cube plus 3 if x is not equal to 0 and fx is equal to 1 if x is equal to 0, is not continuous at x equal to 0. Here we have to show this function is not continuous at x equal to 0. In example 3, the question is given discuss the continuity of the function mod x at x equal to 0, and in example 4 we have to show that the given function is not continuous at x equal to 0. So from the question only we can say the right hand limit, left hand limit and the value of the function at the particular point will not be equal because here we have to show the discontinuity at x equal to 0. So here also the particular point is given, then the function is given with the conditions are x is not equal to 0 and x is equal to 0. So whenever x is not equal to 0, that means x can be more than 0, x can be less than 0. Whenever x is equal to 0, then the value of fx is 1. So in the same way that is we have done in example 3, we have to first do left hand limit. So here we have to write limit x tends to 0 negative. Here we are considering 0 negative because we have to find the discontinuity at x equal to 0. Suppose if the question is given that we have to find the discontinuity at x equal to suppose 5, then here you have to write x tends to 5 negative. In the right hand limit you have to write x tends to 5 positive. So this 0 will change accordingly that is given in your question. Now left hand limit, the process is I have discussed earlier in example 3. So limit x tends to 0 negative fx, then we will replace it by 0 minus h because here it is given 0 negative, and I will replace it by h tends to 0. How h tends to 0 will come I have discussed. Now from here we will get f of minus h. Now we have to consider the function, which function we have to take. So x tends to 0 negative means less than 0. Whenever less than 0, that means surely it is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0 means x cube plus 3. So for x cube plus 3 we will write minus h whole cube plus 3. We will replace x by minus h because here we have minus h. Whenever you will consider the function, then you have to look at this. I am telling you again and again, whenever you will consider the function, you have to look at this. This is 0 negative, that means not equal to 0. So we have to consider the function x cube plus 3. In place of x we have to write minus h because here we have minus h. Now we can put the value of h. H tends to 0 means h is nearer to 0, not equal to 0, but whenever we will do the calculation we will put h equal to 0. In this way only these questions are solved. So the value will be 3. In the same way, the value of the right hand limit is 3. Now we have to find the value of the function at x equal to 0. So left hand limit and right hand limit are equal, but we have to show the discontinuity. That means this is not continuous at x equal to 0. Whenever we will find the value of fx at x equal to 0, the value will be 1. Fx will take the value 1 whenever x is equal to 0. That means f of 0 is equal to 1. Now you see, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is not equal to the value of the function at x equal to 0. So the function is not continuous at x equal to 0. So in this video I have shown 4 questions, and these questions are, the first question was given a function with no condition at a particular point. The second question is given a function with no condition with no particular point. The third question is given a function with condition with particular point, and the fourth question is also same, with condition with a particular point. But the difference between the last two questions is, in example 3 we have to find the continuity at x equal to 0, and in example 4 we have to show discontinuity. For continuity and discontinuity the process is same, only difference is for these lines. So the things I have discussed in this video, go through it properly, see all the points what I have shown here, why we have done these things I have discussed. If you have any problem whenever you will do this question, you can ask me, but don't do this question without understanding the question, because whenever you will solve this kind of question, if you do wrong whenever you will consider the function, then your whole answer will be wrong. This is very important. Whenever you will choosing this h, whenever you are changing the limit, you have to be very conscious how you are doing the question, how you will consider the function, which function you have to write here for left hand limit, which function you have to write here for right hand limit.